So hello again everyone. So this is my first video of mathematics refresher. So refresher, this is usually done as a for you to able to recall or refresh all the things that you reviewed for the whole review session of the review center. So this is usually done in the Philippines. So for this one, since this is only a refresher, so I'll be solving as fast as I can for every problem. Therefore, I won't be discussing the principle or the theorems behind the every problem. Okay. So what I will do is I will solve every problem, and I will usually use shortcuts that I personally derive. Right, and I derive already those formulas and able to prove that those formulas really work. So I think without further ado, let's discuss and let's get into it. So we have here our first problem. Says here that if 3x is equal to 4y, then 4y squared all over 3x squared is equal to. So we have here the choices, which are 3/4, 2/3, 4/3, and 3/2. Okay, so let's first list down the given. We have here 3x equal to 4y. Therefore, we are now required to find the value of 4y squared over 3x squared. So this must be equal to something. Okay. So first of all, for the solution for this one, okay, so we have here 3x equal to 4y, right? What I can do here is I um can have here 3/4 equal to, I will isolate y over x, right? So we have here y over x, which is equal to 3/4. Now going back to 4y squared over 3x squared, I can also rewrite this equation by 4/3 times y over x squared. Now we already have a value for y over x, right? So this is equal to 4/3, and the value for y over x is 3/4. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, um, I can rewrite this as 4 over 3 times 3 squared over 4 squared. So as you can see, we can cancel some of these. So cancel 1 3 on the bottom and 1 3 on the top, and 4 here and another 4 here. So we will be left with what? 3/4. Okay, so this is your answer. Therefore, the answer is letter A. Okay, so let's get to the next number. Okay, so we have here the next number, which is it takes an apprentice twice as long as it takes an experienced carpenter to do a certain piece of work. So working together, they can do the work in 6 days. How long would it take? Would it takes for the apprentice to do it alone? Okay, so let's say for the given here is, so the apprentice takes twice as long for the uh, an apprentice twice as long as it takes an experienced carpenter. Okay, therefore we can have, let's say that the TC, that will be the time for the carpenter to do the work, must be equal to, oh no, I think this is wrong, it should be um 2A. So this is the time for the apprentice to do the work, should be twice the time for the carpenter to do the work. So it will become TA equal to 2TC. Okay. And therefore, we can also have here we are required to find what? We're required to find how long for the apprentice. So we are required to find TA. Okay. So this should be in days, right? Now, what's the solution? So for the solution here, remember that if two bodies are working together, their rates are additive. Therefore, we can have here A is equal to RA, this will be the rate for the apprentice, plus RC, the rate for the carpenter, times T. Okay, but we already have the value for T and the A. For A is 1, T is equal to 6. Therefore, I can write this as RA plus RC equal to 1 over 6. Okay, now let's get the rates of the carpenter and apprentice. So for the carpenter, or for the apprentice first, okay, apprentice, the rate for the apprentice is, so RA must be equal to what? This is 1 over the time. So this is TA. Okay, but you can also rewrite this as 1 over 2TC. Right? So we already have the rate for that. And then for the rate of the carpenter, this will become RC must be equal to accomplishment over time, right? So 1 over time of the carpenter. So let's substitute this one and this one to here. Okay, so substituting that, you'll have here RA will be equal to 1 over 2TC plus 1 over TC, all equal to 1 over 6. So if I will add these two, you'll have here TC plus 2TC all over 2TC squared, right? Equal to 1 over 6. So therefore, the upper part will be 3T, no, this is squared, must be squared. Okay, so this will become 3, 1TC on the numerator will be cancelled. So 2TC equal to 1 over 6. Okay. And then TC now will be equal to what? 6 times 3, that's 18 over 2. Therefore, TC now will be equal to 9 days. Okay, but we are looking for TA, right? Therefore, TA is just equal to 2TC. Therefore, you can have the time for the apprentice is equal to 18 days. And this will become the final answer. So let's look at the choices. We have 18 days. So letter B. Let's have the next one. So we have for number 3, we have cosine raised to 4a minus sine a raised to 4 is equal to, okay, so we have a choices of cosine 4a, sine 4a, sine 2a, and cosine 2a. So this will become, you have to use here your trigonometric identities. So we have here cosine to the fourth a minus sine to the fourth a. Okay, and we can have here factors. These two has a factors, which is the and sum and difference, right? So we have here cosine squared a minus sine squared a and times cosine squared a plus sine squared a, right? So we already know by trigonometric identities, the Pythagorean identity, this is already equal to 1. So we'll be left with what? Cosine squared a minus sine squared a. And if you look at this, the cosine squared a minus sine squared a, this is just equal to the double angle formula, which is also equal to cosine 2a. So this will become your final answer, which is letter D. Okay, so let's do the next one. Okay, so we have here the next one, which is number 4. A man finds the angle of elevation of the top of tower to be 30 degrees, and then he walks 85 meters nearer the tower and finds its angle of elevation to be 60. So what is the height of the tower? So the figure must be looks something like this. Oops. Let me draw it. Let me draw the figure. So this is the triangle, right? And then you have to walk nearer. Okay. So we have, let's say that this part is this is your theta or phi, and this is your theta, and then this will be your h, and this is your y. Okay, so phi here will be 30 degrees, right? And this will become 60 degrees from the given, and 85 y here will be your 85 meters. So this will become your starting point. So he walks 85 meters nearer. So he walks 85 towards the tower, right? So this will become your 85 meters. So I'll be discussing here or just show you the shortcut. So as I said earlier in the video, I will be answering the problems here as fast as I can. So I'll be discussing or I'll be answering this just using the shortcut. So h now here is just a formula already. So this is equal to um, y, okay, tangent, theta, tangent, phi, all over tangent, theta minus tangent, okay. And then if I will substitute here the values, you'll have y is 85, right? So this will become 85 times tangent of, okay, actually it doesn't matter, no? It doesn't matter, right? So just make sure the givens are correct. We have here 30 and 60. So we'll have here, let's say this is 30 and then tangent 60. And of course, the lower part, you must have here the first one is the larger to avoid negative. However, if you just interchange, if you accidentally interchange the values of theta and phi, just fine. All you have, because the only difference is you'll get a negative answer. So just get the absolute value of that or neglect the negative, you'll still be fine. So this is tangent 60 minus tangent 30. If you use your calculator, the answer that you'll get here is 73.61 meters. Okay. So do we have an answer? Yes, this is letter A. On to the next one. We have number 5, right? So for number 5, we have the apotem of a regular pentagon is 10. So that is the length of the apotem. So determine its area. Okay, so let's put down all the givens that we can get. So we have given here, that is a pentagon. Therefore, the number of sides or n is equal to 5. And then let's say A will be the apotem, which is equal to 10. And then we are required to find what? The area. Okay. Now, first we have to find the length of side. Let's say the length of side is S. Okay. This is the side length. Side length. Okay. And then the formula for the S must be equal to, this I already derived this one. So this is 2a tangent 180 over n. Okay. Therefore, we can get S is equal to 2 times 10 and then tangent of 180 over 5. Now, if you will use your calculator, the value that we'll get here is 14.53. 14 point, that is not yet the answer because that is just the side length, right? And then for the area, the formula for the area is equal to 1/4 n s squared and cotangent 180 over n. Okay. So I can also rewrite this as a is equal to 1/4 ns squared, and then the cotangent, since you don't have any cotangent on the calculator, you can make the reciprocal identity. Use the reciprocal identity, which is this will become tangent 180 over n. Okay, and then all you have to do is substitute the values, right? So this will become 1/4 times number of side n, so that is 5 times s is 14.53. Don't forget the squared, all over tangent times 180 over n is 5. Okay. So if you will use your calculator again, the answer that you'll get here is 363.23. So this will become your final answer. Let's look at the choices. We have 363.23. The nearest that we got here is this one. Okay. So the answer is here is 363.30. So the answers that I got is not exactly the same, but that is still fine because that must be the difference between my answers and the choices must be the decimal or rounding error. Okay, so let's go to the next one. We have here the next one, which is number 6. So the area of the rhombus, let's put down the givens first. Area of the rhombus is 200. So area is equal to 264 centimeters squared, right? And then if one of the diagonal is 24 centimeter, so let's have here d1 is equal to 24 centimeter. Find the length of the other diagonal. Therefore, the required, or we are asked to find what? The second diagonal. So let's say that is your d2. So this must be in centimeter. So the formula for this one is just, this is really easy and very straightforward formula. For rhombus, the area is just 1/2 d1 d2. Okay. And then let's substitute the values. We have 264 here. 1/2 d1 will be 24 times d2, and then just find the value of d2. If you will use here, you'll have here d2 is just equal to 264 times 2 all over 24. Using your calculator, you find here the answer is 22 centimeter. Very easy. Okay, so let's have the next number. Okay, so let's go to the next number. We have here, for what value of k will the line y equal to x plus k. So we have y is equal to x plus k. B tangent to the hyperbola, x squared minus 4y squared minus 48 is equal to 0. Therefore, what we are looking for is the k here. Remember that this y equal to x plus k, your k here is also your y-intercept, right? This is your slope-intercept form. Originally, this is y equal to mx plus b. So here we can get this slope here, right? So just get dy over dx, which is equal to 1. You can also get the slope here, which is equal to 2x minus 8y prime equal to 0. Divide all by 2, so x minus 4y prime equal to 0. Or you can have here that y prime is equal to what? X over 4y. Since those two are equal, this is also equal to y prime. We can have here, or we can say that um, x over 4y is just equal to 1, or x is equal to 4y. So we can substitute this one here, and then we can have here that x squared minus 4y squared minus 48 is equal to 0. But replacing this, yung x squared by 4y, sorry. So this is 4y squared minus 4y squared equal to 48. Okay, so this is also 16y squared minus 4y squared equal to 48. So this is 12y squared equal to 48, or y squared is equal to 4. Therefore, your y. Now, so we already find the value for y squared, and then we can have here y now is equal to either plus or minus 2. Now, let's go back to the equation of y. The equation of y is y equal to, we have here y equal to x plus k, right? And then we can also find the value of x, which is x is equal to 4y, right? So x can either be equal to 4, we have x1 and x2, 4 times 2 and negative 2. So this is equal to negative 8, and no, sorry. This is plus 8 and then negative 8. Okay, and then we can have that k is equal to what? Y minus x. Therefore, we have two k's. So we have k1 and k2. So we can have, so we have when y is equal to 2, we have 8. And then when y is equal to negative 2, we have negative 8. Right? So we can have here negative y is equal to 8 minus 2, and then y, how about for this one is negative 8 and negative 2. Okay, so this is either um, 6 and what? So this is plus 2, negative 6. So k value is either positive or negative 6. Okay, so let's look at this one. So the answer is this one. Okay, plus 6 or negative 6. Let's get to the next one. We have now number 8. So determine the equation of the common tangent to the circles x squared plus y squared 2x plus 4y minus 3 equal to 0. And we have here another circle, which is x squared plus y squared minus 8x minus 6y plus 7 must be equal to 0. So this is a really easy problem. All you have to do is just subtract the two equations, right? So we have C1, or the first circle, is equal to x squared plus y squared plus 2x plus 4y minus 3 all equal to 0. And we have the second circle is equal to x squared plus y squared minus 8x minus 6y plus 7 all equal to 0. So I'll just put a line here because we'll be subtracting these two. So if you interchange like you make the C1 your C2 or C2 your C1, you still get the right answer. So I have to make this. So this is minus, right? Therefore, I have to change all the signs here on the second circle. So, so this will be cancelled, right? And this is cancelled. And then you'll be left with what? So this will become positive. So this is 10x and then this will become positive plus um 10y, right? So this is 10y and then minus 10 all equal to 0. So dividing everything by 10, you'll have your x plus y minus 1 all equal to 0. So this will become your answer. Therefore, the answer is letter D, this one. Okay, so let's have the next one. Okay, so we have here the next number, which is a company owns a right triangular lot and the perpendicular sides are 90 and 60 meters. So the company wants to construct a warehouse with a rectangular base of maximum area and with sides parallel to the perpendicular sides of the lot, and find the dimension of the base of the warehouse. So this is very easy. So let's say that this is a triangular lot, since it says to be right triangular, right? Okay, let's say this is the triangle, and let's just connect this. Oops. So this is your right triangle, right? And then you'll have here a rectangular area, right? So but the rectangular base must be in maximum area. So this is your differential calculus, or the application of maxima minima. So you'll have here, but it also says here that the sides of the rectangular must be parallel to the perpendicular sides of the lot. So therefore, the should be something like this, right? There you go. So that will be your rectangular area that must be maximized. So let's have here. So this one is equal to, let's just say this is your 60. So this is your 60 meters, and then this one, oops, is what? This is 90 meters. Okay. Let's say that this part of the rectangular area is this will be your length, this will be your width. Okay. This is really easy. The shortcut for this is just um all you have to do is just divide 2 on the 90 and divide 2 by of the 60, and then you'll get the length and the width. So the length here will be equal to 90 over 2, and then the width is equal to 60 over 2. That's it. That's the answer. Okay, so I already derived this myself, and I was able to prove that this is really the answer. If you maximize the area of the rectangular area. So this will become 45 meters and then 30 meters. Therefore, your answer is 45 meters by 30 meters. So let's look at the choices. We have 45 by 30 and this one. So that is the answer. Let's have the next one. We have here number 10. So we have, what is the largest possible volume a right circular cylinder can have if it is inscribed in a sphere of radius 5? So we have a right circular cylinder inside a sphere. Okay, so I'll just draw it very quickly. So we have here, this is the sphere and we have a cylinder inside, right? So the cylinder must be looks is a right circular cylinder, right? Yes. So the cylinder should look like something like this. Okay. So that is the cylinder on a front view. So therefore, if you will solve this, let's say that this is your center. Okay. Therefore, you'll have a line here, and then I can also have another line here. So those line represents what? So this is the radius of the sphere, right? And then this part will be your radius of the cylinder, and this part will be the height, or rather um, height over 2, right? Half of the height of the cylinder. And then from that equation, you'll have here r squared plus h over 2 squared equal to r squared. Now, if you continue to do this using the volumes and then deriving and performing derivative, what you will get here is the volume of the cylinder. This is the max, okay? Max. this is equal to, here's the formula. So 4 pi r cube all over 3 square root of 3. So all we have to do is to, r equal to 5, right? 5, this is the um, radius of the sphere. So this is equal to 4 pi times 5 cube all over 3 square root of 3. So 5 gives 125 times 4 that we'll have, you'll have here 500 pi over 3 square root of 3. So 500 pi 3 square root of 3. So let's look at the answers. So we have here 500 pi 3 square root of 3. So this will become your answer. So let's have the next number. Let's have the next number, which is, this is a integral. So this is a double integral, right? So evaluate the integral of, so double integral, we have 2r squared sine theta cosine theta squared. So we have integral of, oops, we have double integral. So we have 2r squared sine theta. We can also rewrite this as a cosine squared theta. So we have dr d theta. So we have from the limits of 0 to sine theta, and then we have another limits here, which is 0 to pi over 2. Okay, so remember here, if you are evaluating multiple integrals, you have to start from the core or from the most inner part. So we have to start from the dr. Okay, so starting from there, you'll have here the integral of 2r squared will be equal to 2 thirds, right? 2 thirds r cube sine theta cosine squared theta d theta. This is from limits of 0 to sine theta. We still have an integral here and d theta here. So we have still have the integral for the theta, which is 0 to pi over 2. So substituting the limit, you'll have here upper minus lower, right? So therefore, you'll have here 2 thirds. So still, this is a constant, right? So this is pi over 2. And then we have here r's cube. So substituting upper limit minus lower limit, then you'll have here sine cube. So sine cube times sine, you'll have here sine raised to 4 theta cosine squared theta d theta. And at this point, you can already use your calculator to evaluate this one to make it faster. So when you evaluate your this one, don't forget to put your calculator into radian mode, and then you'll have your pi over 48. This is your answer. You can either have this one or the decimal equivalent. So the answer here is letter B. However, for this one, remember that, for example, if this is not sine theta, sine theta, let's say this is equal to 2, you can evaluate this integral using your calculator directly. All you have to do is like you have to separate all the r's and all the thetas and multiply them to each other, and that's it. This is really easy. However, you cannot do that since the limits are also variable itself. Okay, so let's have the next one. Okay, so we have the next one, which is let me fix this real quick. There you go. So find the volume formed by revolving the triangle whose vertices are 1, 1, 2, 4, and 3, 1 about the line 2x minus 5y equal to 10. So you'll be using here, let's put all the givens first. We have 1, 1, and then 2 and 4, and then 3 and 1. So we also have a line which is 2x minus 5 equal to 10. We are required to find the volume, right? Volume. We'll be using here this is an integral in integral calculus. You'll be using here the Pappus theorem. Okay. I think it's Pappus or something like that. Anyways, Pappus theorem. The formula for that is V must be equal to the theta, which is the revolution. This is usually equal to 2 pi. And C is the distance from the centroid, the perpendicular distance from the centroid of the object that you will revolve to the axis of revolution times the area. Okay, so theta is 2 pi, right? And then c, that will become, you have to get the centroid of this one. That is a triangle, right? So getting the centroid of that, you'll have here x, let's say xm, centroid or median. So this is equal to, get all the x, that's 1 plus 2 plus 3 all over 3. So this is equal to 2, right? And then for the y coordinate, this is equal to, get all the y's, you have here 1 plus 4 plus 1 all over 3. So this is equal to 2. Therefore, we have a centroid of 2 and 2. Now, you have to get the distance of this centroid to the line. So getting the um, distance of a point to a line, right? So getting that, we have, that will become your C. So the line is 2x minus 5y. So 2 times your x, which is the coordinates of centroid of x, which is also 2, minus 5, y, also 2, minus 10, all over the square root of the a and b, which is 2 and 5. So we have here 2 squared plus 5 squared. You can already neglect the negative since you will square it anyways. So get the absolute value for this one. And if you will use your calculator here, you have here 2.9711. Okay, so another thing, we have to get the what? The area, right? So getting the area for this one. Okay, let me copy this one here. Let me extend this one. Just get the area. So for the area, you can use the coordinate method. So area is equal to 1/2, and then you can just use the like getting the determinant or the basket rule. So if you will plot this, so 1 1 should be around here. So this is your 1 1, and then 2 4 must be around here, and then 3 1 should be around here. So this is your 1 1, this is your 2 4. Let me zoom it in for you to see it more. So this is equal to, this is your triangle, right? This is your 1 1, and then this is your 2 4, and for this one, this is your 3 1. Okay, so you have to trace this doesn't really matter, right? You can trace this counterclockwise or clockwise, doesn't matter, because if you got it wrong, or you what will happen is you'll just get the a negative area. So how, let's just trace it counterclockwise. So 1 1 3 1 2 4. Okay. So we have here 1 1 3 1 2 4, and then you have to repeat the first column to close out the revolution. So 1 1. Okay, so let's get the area for this one. You'll have here equal to 1/2 times 1 times 1, that's 1, plus 12 plus 2, minus the 3 plus 2 plus 4, right? And if you get this, you have to get here 3 square units. Okay, so with that, let's get the value of the volume. So for the value of the volume is V is equal to theta, right? Theta is 2 pi. You're rotating the whole object or the given to 2 pi. All axis of revolution, or 360 degrees. And then you can have the 2.9711. This is the distance from centroid to the line. And the area of the triangle, which is equal to 3. So getting that, the answer that you'll get here is around or approximately equal to 56. So let's have the choices. We got 56. Yep, we have 56. So this is your answer. Let's have number 13. So for number 13, so a body falls from rest. If resistance of the air is proportional to the speed, and if the limiting speed is 160 feet per second, find the speed in feet per second at the end of 5 seconds. So this is your differential equation. This is the Newton's second law. But however, the Newton's second law of motion here in differential equation is quite different, because you have to consider also the resistance of the air. And we have a given here 160. So Vm, or the max speed, is 160 feet per second. Since this is in feet, therefore your G here must be in 32.2 feet per second squared. Okay, so we are required to find V. Velocity at t must be equal to 5 seconds, right? So let's have the solution. So for the solution for this one, I already derive the formula. So V is equal to Vm times 1 minus e raised to negative gt all over Vm. So this will become your formula. And then all you have to do is just substitute the values. You have your 160, right? The Vm, and then 1 minus e raised to negative, this is 32.2 times 5 seconds all over 160. And if you will use your calculator here, you have here 101.5060. So this must be in feet per second. Therefore, this is your answer. 101.5060, and we have here 101. Therefore, this is an acceptable answer, or the nearest answer. Let's have the next one. So for the next one, we have simplify I raised to 247. So this is already your advanced math, right? So this is really easy. So I raised to 247. And then all you have to do here is to find the nearest number to 247, lower than 247, divisible by 4. So that number is I raised to 244. So we already know here that so I raised to 4, or I to the fourth, is equal to 1, right? Therefore, I raised to 8 is also equal to 1. I raised to 12 is also equal to 1. Therefore, every time that the exponent of the I is divisible by 4, that is just equal to 1. Therefore, you can write this as I raised to 244 times I cube. I just separated them. And this one will just be equal to 1. And how about I cube? So for the I cube, we can rewrite this as I squared times I, right? But um, I squared is equal to negative 1 times I. Therefore, the answer is negative I. Okay. So for this one, this is um, negative I. So the answer is letter B. Okay. So let's have the next one. Okay. So we have here the number 15, and this is all actually the last one. So we have an urn contain 4 white balls and 3 black balls, and another urn contains 3 white balls and 5 black balls. If one ball is drawn from each urn, find the probability that the balls drawn will be 1 white and 1 black. So we have here 2 urns, right? Let's say this is the first urn, and then we have the second urn. So let's say this is our first urn, this is our second urn. So we have for the first urn we have 4 whites and 3 blacks, right? For number 2, for the second one we have 3 whites and 5 black. Okay, so we have here, actually we have here, you have to draw here one ball in each urn, and it must be 1 white and 1 black. So we have here 2 events. So the first event we have that we will assume that you will be getting a white ball on the first urn and then black ball on the second urn. But for the second event, therefore, you will be assuming that for the first urn you'll get a black ball, and for the second urn you'll get a white ball. So let's have here the first event. Let's say have the event one, right? So for the event one, so you have to get white on the first urn. Okay, so white must be equal to, the chance for you to get white here is 4 over 7, right? Because 3 plus 4 is 7. And then for the black on the second urn is 5 over 8. Okay? Therefore, these two must happen simultaneously. So you have to times this one. And then this is equal to 5 over 14. I think that's 20 over 56 divided by 4. Yep. Okay, so let's have the event 2. Okay, event 2. So for the next event, we have uh, black on the first urn and then white on the second urn. Let me just zoom it out so you can see. So we have black. What is the chance for you to get a black? That is 3 over 7, right? And then for the white on the second is 3 over 8. So again, you have to multiply this because those two events must happen simultaneously. So this is 9 over 56. And then all you have to do is to add 5 over 14 and 9 over 56. So 5 over 14 plus 9 over 56. Therefore, you'll get here an answer of 29 over 56. And this is your final answer. Let's look at the choices. Do we have 29 over 56? Yes, that is letter B. So that is the last problem that I have for you for this math refresher. So I hope you guys learn something here, especially for the shortcut since I solve every problem as fast as I can. So again, thank you all guys for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube and keep watching my videos. And I think that's it. So thank you all guys for watching, and I'll see you on my next videos. Bye bye.